it obviously matters precious little that he and his partner Teddy Sheringham are not currently on speaking terms. Newcastle's primary task would seem to be to keep that pair at bay. Only Watford and Sheffield Wednesday have let in more goals this season. With Bosnich having suffered a broken leg, Aaron Hughes starts at left-back. Kevin Gallacher is given the freedom to roam behind Shearer and Ferguson. The Premiership leaders have acknowledged the difficulty of the fixture with this selection. Irwin and Giggs are restored, so given the absence of the injured Ronnie Johnson and Dwight York, who's away on international duty, this is as strong a team as they can field. Newcastle are unbeaten at home under Bobby Robson, who we're told will soon sign that new contract. And to emphasise the durability of a manager who'll be 67 next week, it's maybe worth pointing out that 30 years ago this weekend, he was also facing Manchester United. His Ipswich team went down at Portman Road to a solitary goal from Brian Kidd. This is undoubtedly Newcastle's biggest test under Robson's leadership. They've not beaten these benchmark opponents since putting 5 past them on this ground 3 seasons ago. And today's emotion-free referee is Stephen Lodge. They may not speak, but they have a job to do. Roy Keane. United always break with such menace. Cole is wide on the left. Giggs through the middle. Scholes arriving, Sheringham too. Boozer for Cole as a former Newcastle player. And here's Scholes. And Sheringham! It's a good chance. He was under pressure from a defender. But even so, it was delivered very accurately and at a good height by Scholes. It's quite a tussle, Stam and Ferguson. Gallacher. Really the first shot on goal of the game, and it's taken just over a quarter of an hour to arrive. Giggs. Away from Hélder, faced now by Barton. Cole, over the head of Sheringham to David Beckham. Great expectation as he approached the ball. Rather a letdown, having made contact with it. There are suggestions that Manchester United will find a way through. But only suggestions at this stage. Ferguson barging his way through. Heavyweight clash with Stam, which has ended with both players on the ground. And Ferguson having a disagreement with everyone in sight. First it was Stam, then it was Bosnich, and then it was the referee. And hardly a couple of shrinking violets. Gallacher. Dyer this time is central. Ferguson is joining him. Shearer is free on the far side. Barton. Lee. Shearer. This is a little better. Ferguson! What a wonderful strike! One Ferguson ecstatic, another stony-faced. He's always had a habit of discomforting Manchester United, Duncan Ferguson, but usually with his head and usually from closer range. What a dexterous turn and volley. Credit to Shearer for the layoff. In a sense, it was role reversal, and Bosnich was clutching at thin air. Newcastle in front after 26 minutes. And the assist this time goes to the captain. This is Robert Lee, away from Giggs. Now Ferguson, back with Lee, and Dyer has broken free. Shearer ready in the middle, and it was deflected and hit the post. Ferguson, Shearer trying to get there, and then Gallacher, was he bowled over? Apparently not by Silvestre. And from hitting the post at one end, Newcastle now have to defend. Keane. Still the danger not away for the home team. Cole. And Newcastle can breathe again, having nearly established a 2-goal lead at the other end. So much space and time for Kieron Dyer, whose cross looped off the left thigh of Stam and was inches away from doubling Newcastle's advantage. And then, was that a push by Silvestre? Well, there was contact, but the referee said no penalty. Stam. Put up Given against Beckham. Aaron Hughes, who stooped in. Four inside the penalty area, taken by Dyer. And Stam. An awkward clearance to have to make. Now Ferguson. Stam was in the way again. 6'4". And jumped around about 8 feet. Stam away the first time. And it's ironic that whilst he's renowned for causing problems in the air, it's on the ground that he has come closest to causing serious embarrassment to Manchester United. Already a scorer with that wondrous volley. Speed. Lee. Stam, who didn't meet it correctly. Silvestre, and speed! Well, given the sweetness of his left foot, you would have backed him to make it 2-0. Bosnich rooted to the spot. That gum is getting some stick. Dyer. Speed. Played the obvious ball and the good one to Barton. Now Shearer. Silvestre tight to him, but not tight enough. And Scholes behind. Hélder, the scorer at the Stadium of Light, is forward for this. Speed, and in the end it went beyond him to Shearer. Came to him at an awkward height, and it was difficult not to head the ball upwards. Shearer. Only a throw, and Keane offering a piece of his mind and a suggestion that the referee's assistant needs some help with his eyesight, and the assistant on that far side has called Steve Lodge across. And for that show of dissent, Roy Keane is going to go into Stephen Lodge's notebook. Roy Keane is going to go into Stephen Lodge's notebook. And that's, I think, is a sign of Manchester United's frustration. Beckham. Keane. Now the crowd have a reason to boo him as well. Scholes. Keane. It's Robert Lee that was the barrier. And now the provider, possibly. No flag. Shearer brushing off Beckham. Now here's Duncan Ferguson. He's done it once. And it's his volley halfway through a fascinating half that separates these two sides. Immense credit to Newcastle for their work rate and their work ethic. Manchester United not looking their normal selves, and Roy Keane wanting to continue the argument with the referee who's just cautioned him. He suggested that the linesman needed some help with his eyesight. Manchester United maybe need to readjust their sights. Half-time at St James's, Newcastle 1 goal to the good. It needs hardly to be pointed out that Manchester United are never more dangerous than when their supremacy is threatened. And from what we saw in the first half, the threat is substantial today. However, only Chelsea have stopped them scoring in the Premiership so far this season. And for the top game of the day, the top man is here. Shearer, shoulder to shoulder, but not within the laws, and then there was a subsequent act that referee Lodge didn't like. It was the shoulder charge that brought the free kick, but it was that reaction that produced the yellow card. Dissent. Barton just kept it in. Which may not be to Newcastle's advantage. Giggs. Cole in front of him. It's still Ryan Giggs. Appeals for handball. For the first time this month, one or two Manchester United players are contesting a decision that involved a penalty appeal. Warren Barton was the Newcastle defender involved. Manchester United thought handball. That suggests otherwise. Beckham. Cole and Harper, did he keep it out? The linesman has put his flag to the floor to say no, it did not cross the line. Steve Harper had a desperate scramble, seemed to collide with the post as well, but did he claw it back before it crossed the line? The official said that he did. One of the problems for the referee and his assistant was that the goalkeeper's body shielded a clear view of what was going on, but from that angle there was a case for saying that the whole of the ball may well have been over the whole of the line. And in forced substitution, Temuri Ketsbaia, the Georgian, is on in place of the stricken Ferguson. Scholes. Oh, and Keane is onside. Harper's off his line. Now, did Keane need to make the challenge? And was it fair of him to do so? Newcastle feel that he may have been out of order. It was certainly enough to put the goalkeeper off. And Steve Harper is very much the centre of attention. Yes, he was within his rights to attempt to get to the ball. Then Harper lost it. Roy Keane's second yellow and he's off. And the protests may land one or two other Manchester United players in trouble, most notably Andy Cole, who really flew off the handle as Stephen Lodge produced the red card. It seems that Manchester United have not learnt their lesson about haranguing referees. Keane off for a second bookable offence. What about Andy Cole? Yellow. And suddenly this fixture, which was always lively, has an extra element to it. Andy Cole cautioned, and remember, It's only a fortnight since Sir Alex Ferguson warned his players that they'd gone too far in haranguing referee Andy D'Urso in the match against Middlesbrough. Cole. Now it's David Beckham. And Dabizas. Beckham. Dabizas once more. Giggs. Now Beckham. Three in the middle. Cole, no. Barton to Giggs. Just a bit of a bobble as Ryan Giggs prepared to strike the ball. Gallacher needs to offload. Dyer just behind him in truth. Here's Shearer. Barton up in support, and so many players over at the back post for Newcastle. Well, it was awkward, and Gary Speed was well off target. But Newcastle had 4 unmarked players beyond the penalty spot. Needed a deeper cross. Speed. Stam. Shearer. Oh, it's 4 against 3 in Newcastle's favour. Shearer on his own! Oh, this is Newcastle's day! How can you doubt the revival? There's the talisman. And there is the architect. And there is the natural reaction. He doesn't have a fantastic record against Manchester United. It's only his 9th goal in 26 games against them. But he will surely rate it as one of the most important. Beautifully curled around the keeper and low into the corner. A craftsman at work. On the line for Shearer. Newcastle's ball. Oh, and Stam has also lost his cool. Eyebrow to eyebrow with the referee's assistant. The disappointment of defeat, the heat of the battle, but surely no excuse for that. Gavilan. Shearer! All the players in one direction at this point. It is 11 against 10. But it's the passionate against the defeated. Hélder. Now Domi. Newcastle rampant. Plenty of arm waving. Shearer! Plenty of goals as well. It's surely a seminal day on Tyneside. Manchester United split asunder. And how often have we said that these past 7 or 8 years? Lee. Shearer. Wanted to turn and was allowed to turn. This is Gary Speed. And the reaction of the goalkeeper, typical of an uncertain display by Manchester United, which has ended in a 3-0 defeat. Who says the Premiership race is over? Renaissance man is doing wonderfully well by the time. And the locals are responding in kind. A contest that was always feisty, at times explosive and ferocious. And it's confirmation of the giant strides being made by Alan Shearer and Newcastle. Manchester United not at the races. The song on the lips of the Newcastle faithful is the Blaydon races. Full time at a vibrant St James's. Newcastle United 3, Manchester United 0.
I know you've been asked about it a lot prior to the game. Now the game's out of the way. I mean, you are here to stay, aren't you?
I think I ought to get more money now, don't you? I don't think the chair wants to see me. He wants to let it cool down until until the equation is simple. Yes, I do want to stay, of course. Yeah, I mean, we've done well together, all of us, the management team and medical staff, technical staff, as well as the players. And it's buzzing now. And yeah, I mean, they'd be silly to let it go, wouldn't they?
Was the sending off justified?
Well, I think that when he went to challenge the goalkeeper, that he shook hands with the goalkeeper, and I think the referee is that in his mind. I don't think it was any intent, but the first tackle after that is too soon to the first challenge in the goalkeeper, and therefore the referee was adamant he had to go.
How fractious did it get in that quarter of an hour period around the Roy Keane sending off?
Yeah, it was touch and go. I mean, we knew that if we got amongst them, then they wouldn't like it. At times they don't like you to kick them. They feel like you're not allowed to kick them because they're Manchester United. But if you get amongst them, give as good as you get, and that's what we've done today. And at times they didn't like that and they couldn't handle it. But they're an excellent side, they're an experienced side, and I'm sure they'll bounce back from this.
Unusually strong words from Mr. Shearer, but I mean, United's first league defence since October, and they were well beaten, weren't they?
Newcastle were great. They were absolutely terrific. Manchester United didn't play that well. Didn't pass and move it as well as they can. 2 shots on targets tells its own story. But it happens. You can't play well for 60 matches in a season. Like you say, first league defeat since October, and they'll bounce back.
Yeah, they weren't at their best, but then again, did they have a case perhaps for a goal?
Well, 1-0. It was tight at 1-0, and Cole chips the keeper. Was it in? Well, we'll have a look. Beckham ball into the box. Nice turn. Chip over the keeper. Harper goes back. From that angle, referee, there's no way a referee can give it, but can the assistant give it? And we stop it here. That looks into me there. And then it goes a bit further. I think that's definitely him. So they had a case to complain there. And that would have made it 1 each, but Newcastle were terrific. They really were.
Yeah, they were. And the front two in particular. I think they've scored something like 16 goals in their last 10 appearances together as a unit.
Well, Shearer's always a threat, but I think that it's so difficult to play against Duncan Ferguson. He's the best I've seen there in 20 years in English football. Even when he's not heading it, he's just a massive physical presence, and he just makes defenders make mistakes. It's as simple as that. Playing against one of the best defenders in the world, Stam. This tells its own story. Ball's in the air a long time here. Nobody comes to challenge him. That tells you they're scared of him. Newcastle knock it about here. No great width, but they chip it in eventually here. Stam comes forward. Again, that's a bad header because Ferguson's there. And speed, that's a terrific opportunity. He plays other people in. He drags Stam to the back post, leaves Shearer free in the middle, decent ball in. You know, it's another great chance, but the goal is an absolute bonus. It's the dynamic duo. Great flick on by Shearer, run the corner, and that is a fantastic turn and finishing. The only problem with Ferguson is he doesn't play enough matches, does he? I mean, he's injured again today. If he could play all the time, I mean, when he played for Everton, Joe Royle once called him unplayable. That would sum him up.
Interesting today that one of the weakest defences in the league met one of the strongest attacks, yet they kept a clean sheet. How did that happen today?
Well, the back four were as good as I've seen them all season. They defended well, they defended and they were really solid, but all over the pitch they defended. Gallacher was meant to be playing off the front too. Well, he worked his socks off. I mean, if you look at we pick him up here. Just watch this. Right, he runs back here. You know, he goes for the first one, then goes to the second ball, and then he's after the next one as well. Chases Beckham back. He makes a great tackle there. And he's supposed to be playing off the front too. This time it's Giggs on the ball, it's Dyer, runs back. But you watch the picture, there's 4 chasing Giggs. You know, chases, and what they're doing is they're cutting off the supply before it gets to the back 4. Again, Gallacher, we pick him up here, and he chases back, goes after Beckham there, has a think about it, and then goes into his own box. And that's a great sliding tackle on Andy Cole. And finally, there's been a guy been getting a lot of stick, Hélder, but today he was magnificent. Watch this for a piece of play. Oh, see you later. Good control, nice ball out. And this is like you'd expect Manchester United to do this. Soak up the pressure, hitting the break. Great ball in, and a clinical finish by the captain.